Hey guys, and welcome to an episode of the Harvey Warrington Media Aesthetics and Dental Podcast, where today we're joined by a very special guest who's branded as a celebrity doctor, Dr. Osh. Now, Dr. Osh has scaled a 7-figure aesthetics empire consisting of 2 clinics and a franchise aesthetics training academy empire known as BBAIM and the BBAIM Group. Everybody give a round of applause to Dr. Osh. Welcome. So firstly,
thank you for having me today, and I'm very excited for this podcast, and I hope it can be very useful podcast for aesthetic practitioner in the industry.
Completely. So Dr. Osh, you've got a very interesting story from, where you started, coming over to the UK, building from the ground up quite literally, and now you're one of the most renowned doctors in the aesthetic space. Could you tell us a little bit about your story briefly to where you started to where you are now?
Sure. So BBM Academy established in 2015, and before I established this academy, I had a feasibility study and research about what is the lack of techniques or knowledge in this field, and I realized safety was one of the main topic that it was like the missing in whole curriculum in aesthetic medicine. Then whole focus and priority was writing modules based on safe practice.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And in terms of safe practice, of course, the industry not being regulated, there's quite a lot of unsafe practice, right?
That's correct.
So how did you come up with that idea? Did you see the gap in the market to pursue that?
Because aesthetic medicine is not regulated in the UK, it was many academies started to provide training, which curriculum has been written by not experts in the industry, and safety is completely missed in most curriculum I've seen in UK, and I decided to focus on safety and also introduce safety tools in UK. So BBAIM was the first academy in the UK that provided a safety ring to make some of the technique of injection easier for practitioner. And recently also we introduced ultrasound with a brand of Silarius to bring more safety in aesthetic practice. So the reason I started with BBM Academy, it was my essay in postgraduate was about teaching methodology, and I decided to go with academy. And after a couple of years since academy established, it was a kind of feeling of increasing joy by getting a good feedback from my students, and it was nice feeling that you can impact on others by like your knowledge or your skills to deliver to others. This was the main reason I started to go with that.
Amazing. Yes. And fast forwarding from then till now, excuse me, in terms of the BBIM Academy, you're usually pretty fully booked in terms of students most months. So in terms of the students you've had come through the ranks, how many of them have gone on to achieve successful aesthetic careers?
Sure. BBM Academy, till now we had 850 plus students who have been completed their course, and same as any other academies or university, when students go to different major, once they graduate, some of them they stick in their field and they start to carry with their major, but some of them they completely change their direction. But for academy, especially in aesthetic medicine, those who enroll for our course are serious people, and they're looking for changing their field or have serious income, and most of them, after the completion of course, they carry aesthetic medicine. And in terms of successful story, we have like many, more than 100 successful stories that some of them they generate more than 30 to 50K per month as like a single practitioner.
Wow.
Which is very easy to achieve, and even like if we go through the calculation, it can go up to like few £1,000,000 a year as income.
Amazing. So in terms of the 30 to 50K per month students you've had that are now hitting those figures, you mentioned that they're doing that as a solo practitioner. So is that without any staff, they're just doing that by themselves?
That's correct. Based on average treatment fee, which is around £250, like this £250 is average treatment fee. It can be up to £600, £800, or the minimum like £250. If they have like 4 to 5 clients a day, it will be around 1,000 to 1,250, which is around 80% of this income will be the net profit, which will ended up to 1K a day, which is 30K a month, which is 300K to 340K a year.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
So, you know, certain students you've taught are making a monthly, it'd be a yearly salary, wouldn't it, in a month?
It's around 300K a year, easily it can be achievable.
What does it take to get there? So, for example, what are the correct steps to building a successful, not aesthetic brand, but as a solo practitioner? Like, how do you scale to that level, and how many clients do you need to hit that 30K per month?
Like 4 to 5 clients.
A day?
A day, yes.
Okay.
Which is easy. If they join with the marketing team and to have like a content creator, it's easy to achieve this range of clients. Some clinics, each practitioner, they have like 10 to 15 clients a day, like they're fully booked, overloaded. So 4 to 5 clients a day, it should be normal and average for one practitioner.
Yeah, I think 4 to 5 clients a day is very achievable,
easy to
right?
achieve.
I guess it will take time to get there, but say, for example, somebody who could be tuning into this podcast for the listeners right now who maybe don't aspire to make 30 grand a month. Maybe they want to make, say, 5 grand a month, which is still above average for a salary, I suppose. Is it above average for a salary?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely is. Yeah. So what would somebody need to do to hit that? I guess they could probably work part-time, right?
That's
To
correct.
hit that.
If we say like one client a day, like 5 days a week, it will be 1,250. 4,000, it will be around £5,000 a month.
Wow.
Which is around £4,000 is net profit.
Have you got a job for me?
With one client a day.
Hire me, mate.
I guess there's so many different avenues people can go, right? 'Cause some people might start because they want free time, so they might be happy earning the 2 or 3, 4 grand a month, which is easily achievable, and then they can live like a decent, like a lifestyle. It's like a lifestyle
That's correct.
career, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And good thing is like treatment duration of each procedure, average it will take around half an hour for each treatment and aesthetic, which if they have one client, even half an hour they will finish the day, so they can focus for the rest of the plan.
Of course. So breaking down, say, a £500 treatment, what could that consist of? Presumably it could be Botox and Profilo as a combined package, would you say?
As a combined package, it will be even more. So single injectable of botulinum toxin, it will be around 250 to 400 pounds according to the different area. But if we go like the minimum price for 200, 250 pounds, Profilo or other skin booster or hair restoration program also is around 250 to 300 pounds per session. And based on the minimum price for majority of injectable treatments, this is achievable.
100%. So I think what's always worked well for you, I mean, even before we knew each other and you were just, doing your clinic and academy, but before ads, you always had a really strong presence, like a strong brand. So how did you build that? So for example, me and Luke were always really interested to connect with you because we saw you on your Instagram with the McLarens and, living the good life. Like how did you build your brand to get to the level of, being a celebrity doctor and treating celebrity clients? Like how did they find you?
Sure. All started based on like word of mouth in the beginning. And in terms of celebrity title that I just always mention in my Instagram, first of all, titling yourself as a celebrity doctor, insurance will increase. Like insurance when I pay is around 2-3 times more than usual insurances. Many insurance companies, they do not accept those practitioners who accept celebrities because it can be more risky for them.
Oh, because it's going to get on, because if it's something doesn't go to plan, or it'll get on the newspapers and easy quite quickly and social media.
Probably get like
and
sued
they're very
and stuff,
strict.
right?
When majority of insurance they decline, they reject to accept someone who have celebrity title for that.
Yeah.
But I treated one celebrity, and then he introduced me to many of celebrities, and that was the start point of doing like celebrity as a
amazing. I think it's such a cool, unique brand for you as well, the celebrity doctor, and it's not self-proclaimed. Like, you know, I think that's what the people are saying because that's what you've been doing,
That's
right?
correct, yes.
Do you remember when I came to meet you? It must have been 6 months ago, and this dude walked out of your clinic. I can't remember. I don't know who it was, but he just looked famous. And then you ended up telling me he was like a Irish rock star celebrity, and you went out partying with him that night, right?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So what you're saying is like your network was built through referrals within that community. How did you build the foundation to get so many referrals? What do you do differently from others?
I tell you, at some point I started to think of making money, and then whenever I was thinking about making money, I was getting failed and I was not making any money. Whenever I was thinking about the quality of treatment, I was focusing fully about the outcome of the treatments, automatically I was making more money. So I decided to change my concept, and all my consultation is based on honest outcome of the result. I have like many clients, they come to my clinic, I can charge them like $4,000 to $10,000 each client, but they ask me some result or even some treatment that they do not need, and I really ignore to accept them. And what I learn in this industry, or maybe other businesses, I believe that if treatment or consultation is truly honest advice, it can be easily turned to generation of money.
It happens in our industry as well with marketing. Like sometimes people will come to us and we'll say to them, like, to be honest with you, you're not in the right position to do what you're trying to do. Like, we could easily take your money right now and charge you, but it's not right for you. And then because it works both ways. Because we say that, they actually want to work with us more.
That's correct.
And then because we have been, that builds trust as well. They'll end up referring us because we trust the Harvey media because they actually didn't take my money when it was in their hand, you know, it was ready to give to them. So it works both ways, because then just build trust and everything really, especially in aesthetics. Like same with marketing, like a lot of people get bad experiences, or not get bad experiences, but hear about bad experiences, right? Or they'll see the celebrities that it hasn't gone to plan exactly what they wanted, etc. So I think that's why it's important to build trust with that. How have you built trust on your social media?
Yes, like all these clients I have, like many of, like a majority of them, they've been with me since I started to practice aesthetic in UK, since 2015. So I try to keep my clients, so to build faithful and regular clients by trying my best to provide a good outcome from the result of the treatment, and also to give him the right advice. So I always go through three different levels, like mental, emotional, and physical. Some clients, they come to me, they do not need treatment, and I think they have other problems they need to sort out, mental state or emotional state, before they come to the aesthetic. So I build kind of friendship with my clients. I try to talk, to just know their personality, to see if they really need the treatment or not, and I use also like latest technology to assessing the skin. Like for patient assessment, we use ultrasound to see if they had like a previous dermal filler or previous other treatments, to make sure there is no interaction with our treatment, and make sure the result they're going to achieve, it will be the best and mainly not complication. So yeah,
that's good to know. You know, you get trends, right? Like
Butterfly lips.
Butterfly lips. I'm hearing about nipple filler now. Is that a thing? People are getting their nipples filled for the pokey kind of
yes,
look.
it's like we have like filler for face and filler for body, either for the buttock enhancement, they call Brazilian butt lift, non-surgical way, or for breast augmentation enhancement. For breast area, usually it's more complicated, and I usually try to not go through dermal filler injection in those areas because it's very complicated, and I've learned if anything happen in the future, they might blame you. That there is no clinical study or enough study to defend if something happened in the future, like they might blame on you, and you cannot defend from yourself. So I try to not go through that route. But yes, there is like a filler in nipple area, breast augmentation, BBL, and other areas as well.
It's funny how things come and go. It's kind of like fashion, right? So, you know, everybody were getting the Russian lips a couple of years ago. I think it was 2020.
That's correct.
Everyone was getting the Russians. Are people less likely, like, are there less people getting the really big lips now? Is it more is it more of a natural look that the vast majority of people are going for, or?
I would say recently, most clients, they're looking for natural result. And the way I provide training in BBM Academy for students based on golden ratio, which comes from Greek architecture. It was a building that's different proportion of the door, windows, and ceiling was on the number of 1.618, which short form was 1.6. They tried to use that number in plant, animals, and human. They realized there is a different proportion on the face, horizontally and vertically. So they realized the attractiveness formulation says that lower lip has to be bigger than upper lip with a ratio of 1.6. So I try to do all my treatments based on golden ratio. There is also a ruler for that. And there is like a different angle from forehead to the rest of the face has to be 1.6, from chin to this area 1.6, even horizontally different proportions. More than 300 to 400 different proportion is 1.6 ratio. So if we try to focus on this ratio to achieve our enhancement by dermal filler, the result will be natural and more attractive. Some clients, they go to different aesthetic practitioners. In terms of getting more attractive, they're getting more ugly. So this is the small tips in aesthetic that is not only about technique of injection or how they expect. It's about the attractiveness and mathematics of beauty to use in your practice.
Yeah, that's really good to know. You can tell that you're a master of your craft just from that technical analysis, because we speak to aesthetic clinics all the time and have done for the past 4 or 5 years. It's very rare you get somebody that's really like technically engrossed in their craft. I think a problem with the industry is, and look, don't get me wrong, there's like great practitioners out there. We work with some amazing ones, including yourself, but a lot of people are profit focused instead of results focused. I think it's healthy to have some profit focus. It's business, right? Like we do it to make money. But what do you think the industry is looking like for, say, the next 5 years with the industry growing so heavily? Is this going to make it challenging for new businesses to start, do you think? Is it going to be harder for someone to build an aesthetics business now as comparison to how it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
I think even though market is saturated, but still there is space to making money. Always competition will be there, so we need to compete with our competitors. But in terms of the number of clinics that is increasing and number of demand also, I think that it has the same ratio. So always, because like 10 years ago, culture of receiving dermal filler in lip area or botulinum toxin wasn't like today. So it wasn't like many people was requesting for these kind of treatments. But now after like 18 years, 19 years, or it's kind of culture of fashion, they have to get lip filler or Botox. They think if they don't get these treatments, they are out of fashion or out of the community.
I think it's because of Instagram.
Yes, I
really.
think now it has like a good ratio between
and the
like
Snapchat filters, right? People are trying the Snapchat filters on, and apparently, have you ever had that? And people come in, I want to look like this filter.
True.
People have said that, and you're like, no, I can't do that. It's a filter.
I get a lot. They come with a different picture of either celebrities or a filter. They say, I want to be like that. So I ask them always, this picture you show me, first of all, it's not medical photo. It's full of makeup. You can achieve this without getting any treatment with makeup. So you don't have to spend your money. But I would say in terms of ratio is equal, and it will not be difficult. Even I would say the next 4 or 5 years still will be same as today.
Because there's a lot of people that want the treatments, and it's still growing, right? It's not stopping down, because there's just treatments are just changing, right? If one goes out of fashion, a new one will come through, right?
That's
new
true.
machine
Also,
will come through.
Number of different treatments also is increasing. Every year we get introduced by different.
Lemon bottle, right?
Lemon bottle was
lemon bottle.
Yes. Lemon bottle was very trendy this year in terms of like fat dissolving, and actually it was compared to other fat dissolving, which is based on deoxycholic acid, the main ingredients. Lemon bottle doesn't have these ingredients, all about vitamins and some naturopathic extract that they claim it can increase the metabolism. Is used for size reduction. Compared to old fat dissolving ingredients, it was more successful, lemon bottle, and quite interesting, without any special acid, which is deoxycholic acid, the main ingredients for fat dissolving. This one doesn't have, and it's more successful in terms of the result.
Wow. So like the scientific side of that, right? Why is it different? Is it quite literally just lemon acid, which is dissolving the fat? Is that how it works?
Lemon bottle, the reason they call lemon bottle is because like yellow, the color, and it's a trendy name.
It's not lemon.
Yeah, it's not lemon.
Man,
it can be
you
good.
Might have to cut that bit out.
Lemon.
No, we'll leave it in Spanish.
I need to know the ingredients as well. I need to read. I forgot, but some of them are vitamin B, and there are a few ingredients. It's not in my mind, but most of the vitamin I know in lemon bottle is for tightening effect. That's why it can be very useful for size reduction. And also there is one ingredient which is herbal ingredients that can be used for fat dissolving. But it's totally different. The mechanism of action of lemon bottle is different than most of the rest of other fat dissolving injectables. Like it was deoxycholic acid. In America, there is a brand called Kybella, which is deoxycholic acid. Same brand in Europe, they call Belkira, which is a same company with different packaging.
In USA, yeah, we run adverts for people.
Yes, it's all deoxycholic acid. And in UK also we had Aqualix, which is deoxycholic acid. And before Aqualix, it was different mesotherapy based on PPC, phosphatidylcholine, was the main ingredients. But all of them either is increasing the metabolism or local fat dissolving. Through lymphatic drainage it can go out. But lemon bottle concept was totally different.
And it's not lemon.
It's not lemon. No.
Even though it looks like it.
It's yellow, and that's why they call it.
I'm with you.
They've done it good for. It is good like branding the way they've done it though.
Yes, the branding was good, and they were very successful in UK. They sold a lot these products.
So I'm hearing, right, I've got a client who's franchised in the States, and although in the USA you have to be a medical professional to practice, from what I've understood from speaking with a couple of people in the States, is the United Kingdom practitioners have a really good reputation. Like, apparently they're seen to be excellent when it comes to aesthetics. What do you know about that? Because I always assumed it might be different because it's not regulated here. But apparently the world looks at the UK like we're the best of the best. Is that true?
I think the answer should be yes and no, because UK has a good reputation for aesthetic, as you mentioned, but many of curriculum in aesthetic medicine also comes from France, historically. And but for some reason, I have a few French clients. They come, they say, "Oh, we're not happy with the result in France. We come to UK to get the treatment." But because there is no regulation at the moment, UK is for non-medic is like a paradise at the moment, and I think with new licensing also it will remain the same, but it will become more strict in terms of training. And in US, Australia, Canada, only medics can practice anesthetic. In Europe as well as Middle East. For example, in US, only doctors and nurses can practice. Canada, same. Australia. France, only doctors. Europe, most European countries, only doctor can practice aesthetic, not even nurses. And in Middle East, some countries, they have to be either plastic surgeon or dermatologist to be able to practice non-surgical aesthetic injectables. Recently, some countries like UAE, they allow to doctors as well to be able to practice. But before, like 6-7 years ago, it was only for dermatologists and plastic surgeon in UAE, for example. But UK is the only country that non-medic and medic, they both can have this chance to be able to practice as long as they have medical malpractice insurance.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I was going to ask you about that, because it would seem from my research as well, it's pretty much the whole world you have to be a medic, except from the UK, right?
That's correct, yes.
Let's stay on this topic for a sec, talking about new regulations coming in. I had a really interesting conversation with one of my clients up north about this. They've been talking, the industry's been buzzing about these new regulations for a real long time, but nothing's come into place yet. And I don't really think people know for sure what's actually going to happen. What's your take on it? What do you think is going to happen?
The latest update from government that they are responsible for this new license is about green, amber, red light. They separate treatments in 3 different categories. Those are non-invasive and non-injectable. They consider that as a green, like peeling, like facial. And those are injectable and invasive. They put in a category of amber. And those are surgical. They put in a category of red. And they mentioned also, they pointed with new licensing, individual practitioner, they need to obtain license as well as the premises. So practitioners need to obtain license and also the premises as well. So I assume after this licensing, mobile practitioner will not be possible anymore. It has to be done through the premises that has license. And for red surgical one, till now we had CQC license. They had to have CQC Care Quality Commission license to be able to provide surgical treatments like breast enhancement, blepharoplasty, rhinoplasty, or even liposuction. But for aesthetic injectables, I think the difference from now and after licensing will be the license for practitioner and premises. And no one knows exactly what is the details, because they say we want to bring more standard and more strict in terms of training. And we assume it will be off-call training, because the latest and the most accredited training we have in United Kingdom at the moment is off-call. And the latest level that we have also is level 7 off-call, which is possible to enroll with VTCT or qualify. These both body are approved and accredited by off-call. We don't have any other training. If they want to bring new training, I think it will take like time to first to conduct that training, then be accredited by off-call, then they launch. But I think at the moment we have only off-call.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting. So I think personally what might happen, so when these new regulations are announced, if they're announced, which I'm sure they will be, they'll probably give like a cooling off period, right? They might say you've got, 2 years to get compliant. Is that true? What do you know about that? They wouldn't just bring it in like...
Yes, logically should be like that. Because first of all, there are more than 5,000 non-medic. It was one statistic rate done in one of the NGO that are in cosmetic. They mentioned about more than 5,000 non-medic that practice in aesthetic in UK. So most of them, I would say all of them, their main income for their life expenses is aesthetic. So I don't think government will come to stop them from having income all of the sudden. So probably they will give them some gap to achieve more qualification to be able to meet the criteria.
I think you're right, because the way I see it, the government love to make money through taxing us, right? So if they were to wipe out every single non-medic, they'd lose tens, if not hundreds of millions.
That's
probably.
correct. It's a huge revenue for government as well. For non-medic.
That's why they bring in the license, right? So you have to probably just sign up to this member. It's like a license, so you pay monthly. So then they're just going to make money from it.
Yeah, it will be another income. And license it will not be only for non-medic. They mentioned about license for medic and non-medic. And through BBM Academy, we had many training for medics and non-medics. According to what I've seen, we can't say all these complications happen only for non-medics. I've seen many complications that refer to our clinics that done by medics, by experienced doctors. And the way we train non-medic in BBM Academy, I would say, first of all, they are very much more cautious than medic, because in terms of safety, they have to just go through. One of the safety before ultrasound was aspiration, which most complicated cases in aesthetic can happen with dermal filler injection, which can block the vessels. In medical term, we call VO, vascular occlusion. So I've seen in Instagram or other social media platform that many medics, even once they inject dermal filler, they do not do aspiration, which it has to pull back the plunger. If the tip of the needle is into the blood vessels, it will flash back the blood to the syringe, so they can stop of injection. So I would say by now, God save them, all these doctors that, or even non-medic, they practice dermal filler without those safety techniques.
That's interesting. Yeah, because you do sometimes see on Instagram, like, cases go really bad or really wrong. Apparently, one of the more dangerous treatments is non-surgical rhinoplasty.
That's correct.
Right?
Because there are too many tiny vessels. Can have also different branch, and it can also supply blood from different area to the iris, which is for the vision, so it can cause blindness as well.
Wow.
And not only with vascular occlusion, the problem is the dosage of injection in this region has to be not more than 0.2 ml, because more than that it can block the vessels, not only by injecting into the vessels, by compression. So many of cases get necrosis because of compression, not even vascular occlusion.
I do find it fascinating. So, like, talking about non-surgical rhinoplasty, we've got some clients that have shown us that, like, before and afters. It's amazing how it can transform the aesthetic of the face just by a small amount of filler, really, to get that nose shape. In my opinion, that's one of the treatments I see, the before and afters. I'm like, wow, like, that really is incredible. It can be so quick.
Like, it can be someone could spend 10 minutes on them, and suddenly they've a problem they've been dealing with their whole life in terms of, like, a lot of nose whatever. Suddenly 10 minutes later they're like, why did I not get this done years ago, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's so true. And I still can't work out how it even makes such a big difference, or how they even get the nose to that kind of desired shape.
It's mathematics, so probably.
Yeah. Because in most cases for nose filler, either they have problem with the bridge of the nose or tip of the nose. So for the tip of the nose, they need to lift it up, and bridge of the nose, we have to fill it to make it more straight. And this treatment usually is like 5 to 10 minutes. It's very like quick procedure compared to lip filler or laugh line filler or other area. It's much quicker. And it's very impressive that with 5-10 minutes treatment, you can bring back the confidence to the person, and it can change their life sometimes, because once the confidence change, they can be more successful person in their business, and to make more money, to be more successful in their life, I would say.
100%. Let's talk about males getting treatments, because I've noticed a trend where more males now, and sometimes even your alpha males, that are coming in to get Botox or jawline fillers pretty big at the moment as well. Are you seeing an increase of male clients recently? And if so, what does that look like?
Yes, around 20% of my clients are male, and most of them they come for jawline, for mainly masculine look, to just enhance their masculine look, like with making their mandibular angle, their jawline more sharper. And different clinics, they have like a different approach according to the promotion they have or advertising they have. In my clinic, like around 20% are male clients, but some clinics, they focus only for men treatments, and maybe it will be opposite, like 80% men clients and 20% for ladies.
That's interesting. I feel like men are less likely to talk about the fact that they've had a treatment, right? Because it might be seen to not be that manly or whatever, I don't know. But I feel like it is definitely becoming more common.
That's true. It's like for female clients, because one of the treatment of botulinum toxin is for migraine, and I remember when I used to practice in back home, many of my clients, they were saying, I have migraine. So migraine points of injection for botulinum toxin is in the neck area. So once I wanted to inject in neck area for migraine, they were saying, no, we want to inject here because it can be helpful.
Can you explain how that works? Because that sounds crazy that you can do it and it can stop migraines.
Yes, there is some points that it can block the sender from the receptors, so it can block, so pain will be released but it will not be felt because it will be blocked in the nervous system. So that's the mechanism of action for migraine.
Oh wow,
but interesting.
Nuts.
Yes. But in terms of those clients, or male clients, that they try to hide it, that they had treatments, now become more common. This was exactly the same case for female before.
100%. I think it'd be quite noticeable. Like if one of your pals comes into my pub on a Friday, they got this perfect chiseled jawline. Oh, nice jawline, mate. Like, yeah, I've been working out in the gym.
It's too hard.
I don't know how it'd work. So let's talk about the current economic climate, right? And not to talk about the economy as such, but I just want to talk about how people are spending less money now than they were a couple of years ago. And there's talks about how we're in a recession potentially. But what I'm hearing is when the last recession occurred in, I think it was 2007, 2008, many industries were affected. Apparently aesthetics wasn't affected at all. Are we seeing that this time round? Are people still spending money on treatments? I mean, it would definitely seem so. Or have you seen a reduction?
In my practice, I haven't seen reduction. I would say lately it was more compared to a few years ago. But I would say food and appearance is the two things that cannot get impact from recession.
People always find money.
People always, yes. People always try to look after themselves with nutrition and food, because these two are necessary, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, for sure. I guess it's kind of like going to the gym. Like people go to the gym to look good, they get treatments to look good. And I think especially if you think about non-surgical rhinoplasty, you know, that's got a lifespan. How long does that last? 3-6 months, would you say?
Usually for nose filler, it usually lasts longer, around 1 year, 1.5 years.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's interesting. So I guess when those treatments need redoing, they're the type of treatments that people will feel obliged to continue to get done, right? Have you seen an increase in the cost of products for, say, Botox, dermal fillers, or has that kind of stayed the same?
No, kind of stayed the same. And one thing that is added recently, especially in the UK market, is many of manufacturers of South Korea, they provided very much cheaper compared to European manufacturers, and it's leaded to reduce the treatment cost, and treatment fees compared to 4 or 5 years ago, it reduced a little bit in general.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the academy side of things, right? So you've taught some industry leaders, you know, you've taught some really entrepreneurial people who have gone on to build six-figure businesses themselves as solo practitioners. Sure. What would you say makes you have the success rate you have with your students? Because on the flip side, you do have academies who, they get loads of people through the door and a lot of people never act, which is kind of normal. But I know that you're very customer focused, you're very student focused. Could you talk us through that a little bit?
Sure. I think what makes us different is about two different things. One is the focus of our curriculum is based on safety. And second thing is about aftercare and how to support our clients after the course. We created the community group to have access 24/7. If any complication happen, they can share the photo, and other faculty member, they can give their opinion. And also the package of the training that we provided is integrated approach. It's not only about aesthetic medicine to create the aesthetic for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, temporary. Also, we provide some anti-aging treatments which can change the quality or texture of the skin. And the way we try to deliver the technique of consultation to our students is to persuade their clients to have like a package of different treatments long term, because injectables treatments such as Botox filler are temporary, like 3 months, 6 months. There are some treatments that can change the quality and texture of the skin, like mesotherapy, skin booster, stem cells, exosome treatments. And students now, they know when client comes for consultation how to sell them aesthetic treatments and persuade them to get anti-aging treatments. This will help to give better result, and also once they achieve better result, they will become more faithful client and more regular clients, so they always come back. And this period, this cycle will help them to generate money constantly, like continuously. So this is, I think, is our USP in BBM Academy. And also BBM was the first academy in UK that brought safety. Ciliarius ultrasound was the first tool in aesthetic industry that's introduced to practitioners in UK, as well as our own invention was safety ring, that it was belonged to BBM Academy, not only in UK, in Europe and all around the world. It was the invention of BBM Academy. We have the copyright of that can increase the safety dramatically in terms of aspiration, because it will become a little more technical, but I can explain. Most of the complication was through dermal filler and through lack of aspiration, which is pulling back the plunger of the syringe. And many studies have been released that it showed aspiration cannot be 100% reliable, because once even they pull back the plunger, they have to grab the syringe with one hand, and with other hand they have to pull back the plunger. Due to using two hands, there is a movement of the syringe, and tiny movement of syringe can reduce the accuracy and efficiency of aspiration. So this safety ring we invented, it connects to the thumb and plunger, and with one hand they can pull back their thumb and without involving the second hand, and there is no movement. So this increased the accuracy of aspiration.
Oh, wow.
So this was the first time in UK we introduced. This is one of our main USP in UK.
Yeah, that's incredible. And you guys created that through your
That
own
was a
initiative.
purely invention, yes.
That's fantastic, mate. Yeah, that's really cool. I think it's very rare that you find academies that don't just, teach, but they also create and innovate. And I know you guys have done that, massively, not just with that, with various other inventions you guys have created for the safety of your students. So for students that, potential future students of yours that could be listening to this right now, what would you say it takes for somebody to be successful in an aesthetics business? What type of attributes should somebody have, and what should they be prepared to do to build a successful brand? Because not everyone can make it in business, right?
That's correct. I would say first of all, they need to believe in yourself, and they have to have like a faith in their abilities. Then they need to go through the right direction, right training. Then after training, they need to have the right advice for the setting up of their business. Of course, they will need the marketing team, they will need a content creator, and they will need to create content constantly to promote themselves. If I claim I'm the best injector in the world, and if I don't introduce myself to the world, how people can know me to come to me? So they need to promote themselves through some sort of tools, either social media or through the word of mouth somehow. So I think the best is to have the marketing team to build up, especially in the beginning, because this is the main point, to introduce themselves to people that I am an aesthetic practitioner, I provide treatments, these are some of the result of my work. Then they can generate more clients. And it's
massively. I think it always helps if you have an existing network to leverage. So, as you know, my girlfriend started a skincare brand. She does like skin boosters, dermaplaning, etc. And she's done like really well. She doesn't run paid ads or anything, but she posts regularly on social media, which is free, really. You know, you don't need to hire someone for that. And she's got like quite a big friend group, which has definitely helped, and everybody shares her stuff within a local community. But then of course, naturally, not everybody has that, you know, luxury of having an existing network to tap into. So when you first start, like, how important would you say it is to network?
It's super important, especially in the beginning. If they cannot like afford for proper marketing campaign, I would say the first thing is the word of mouth from the nearest contacts they have to start their business.
Yeah.
Then if they're happy, they can just bring their friends and family, and this is the start point, I would say.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then I know you also get the flip side, and it's not even just in aesthetics. Like Luke, you would agree with this. You get some people that might buy a course, could be even drop shipping. Let's just talk about aesthetics in this case. And they just think, oh, I'll buy the course and I'll just be a successful esthetician, when really you got to put in the work, right? You got to, you know, you have to have the work ethic to make it work. So what type of people shouldn't get involved in aesthetics or business, would you say?
I would say this is the nature of all training program in the world. If we have like any statistic rate of people who graduated from university and how many percent of them they work in their own field, I don't know the statistic rate, but I would say maybe 10%, 20%, according to whatever I hear from my contacts. So even though they are serious about the industry, when they come to the field, they learn, I would say between 20 to 30% they will stay. Those who are not staying, either they're not serious or they give up so quick, and they will not be successful not only in aesthetic, in any businesses, because the business concept always same for all field. So if I'm not successful in certain business, if I have the same approach in other business, I will get the same feedback, I would say.
It's such a good
They'll
answer.
try and blame external factors, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to blame us. They'll say, oh, no, aesthetics, like, there's too many people doing it, so I haven't been able to get clients, which we know actually there's still so many people out there that we're finding where, like, we call the leads for your clinic, right?
Yes.
And we speak to so many people that actually still have never had any treatments. They just know somebody who's had a treatment or whatever. True. So there's still so many people getting introduced to aesthetics in the first place.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, yes.
And then I also think people in general, not everybody, but a lot of people just give up way too easy, man. Like, you know, you can't just buy a course, or you can't just start a business and expect to be making profit from day one. You know, like even your story, you didn't start making money overnight, but people see you as an overnight success, even though really it's 10 years of hard work in the background. Same as our marketing agency, the first probably 2 years, we didn't even pay ourselves for the first 2 years. But then people see us now with, you know, a great client base, 14 staff, and think it's just easy. No, it's not. It's a lot of graft, hard work and risks. So I think anybody considering to invest in a business or buy a course in aesthetics or anything, they need to understand it's tough.
Of course.
But you can juggle it as well, though.
100%.
Juggle it around everything you do.
Yeah.
That's the bit. Like, you can do your course, right? Come and speak to you, and then come and do the course, and then afterwards, they don't have to quit their job straight away. They can do clients at the weekend, just like your girlfriend's doing, right?
Yeah, that's the best thing about it. Like my girlfriend, she works really, really hard in a recruitment job full time, and she sees a couple of clients a night after work, and she's doing okay. Like for a side hustle, it's her third month. She cleared 1.5k last month.
Exactly. This is the best way
nice.
to just to not have a big risk, to have your fixed income, then gradually just change completely. Myself, when I started in UK, I haven't had even contact around myself. So I was employee in one of the clinic, and for 2-3 months, 4 months, I was seeing like maybe one client per 2 weeks per week. So this was my case. I had students that they haven't had even one client for 6 months, 7 months. They were calling me that because we are not a doctor, no one trusts us, or even some of them are medic. They had also problem. They are saying, even though we are a doctor, we don't know how to find clients. Those who are successful, they are the people who had consistency. So after 6 months, 7 months, they never give up. They still moved forward, and now they are very successful. Some of
It's amazing.
I think this consistency is super important.
So important, mate. It's so important. Also, I believe success leaves tracks, right? So look at successful aestheticians. What did they do when they first started out? That's what I done with marketing. I was like, I wanted to learn from the people that had the 7-figure businesses. And, you know, you've got to look at those people and be inspired. So I think anybody starting off in aesthetics that wants to understand how to build an aesthetics business, like reach out to people like yourself or like your team. You know, how did they start? What were their first steps? How did they build a network? And just work away at it every day. And I think anyone can make it if they work hard enough, genuinely.
100%.
I don't even think you need to be that smart. You just need to be, in some cases, a little bit delusional to just believe that you're going to make it, right? True. And then a lot of the time you do.
Yeah, exactly. When they believe they can make it, they will. So it has to be positive. Always negative words can impact also. If they don't believe that they can make money or they can be successful, they will not. If they believe, it will help a lot, I think.
100%. So work aside, what does Dr. Rosh do for fun? Because I know you like to travel.
For fun. Yeah, I like traveling, and I like music. I play Spanish guitar in my spare time. And
you look very cool when you play that guitar, by the way.
You.
I see the videos.
Like it's like, for me, it's like nutrition of my soul. So for my mental state, for my emotional state, I use that. And for physical state, I try to go to gym 3-4 times a week. And traveling is one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because I think it's important to talk about work-life balance. You know, I know there's this hustle culture where it's just like work, 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 but it's probably not that sustainable. I think especially if you're in an industry like aesthetics or just anything in business where you do or have the opportunity to make a lot of money, there's no right or wrong thing to do for fun. But like, how important would you say it is to detach and have some fun when you're in business?
I think before I was saying I need to focus on work, and then I will have like my fun in the future when I become stable, like in terms of financial things. But I would say if I don't have fun, for example, in 1 week, I don't have like a good potential to make good money. So I think it's like a battery to just move you forward, to motivate you to have like better concentration at work. I would say everything has to be in your life consistently alongside of your work. I try to just go out once a weekend, like every weekend, and the 5 days of work a week I try to work.
Yeah, I think that's important, mate, for sure. I found myself in this kind of negative, perpetual state last year. Yeah. Although I'm a very positive person, I think because I was always work, I stopped seeing a lot of my friends for maybe like 2-3 months. And I'd done really well for like 2 or 3 months. The business was going in the right direction. But then I realised I just started to feel a little bit kind of lonely and just a little bit, you know, when you feel a bit agitated and you just, oh man, I just need to have some fun.
100%,
you know what I mean?
Especially in UK and especially in winter.
Yeah.
The worst thing.
100%.
Because after 4 is already is depressing. Imagine if you consider only work, it will become very difficult.
Yeah, for sure. So now I make a conscious effort, like at least twice a month. I'm going out, having a good time, have a few drinks, and just see friends, and catch up with people is important. And meet new people as well, especially in business. I think networking with people that are like-minded to you, even just like us three in this room right now, is so important to motivate and educate and inspire yourself,
100%. It just is motivation for yourself and then for business.
For potential students that are considering working with BBIM to become an aesthetic practitioner, there is some kind of hesitation at the moment because of the new regulations that could be coming into place. A lot of people are still getting involved and doing very well, but there are some people that might be slightly sitting on the fence in terms of should they get involved now or should they wait for the new regulations to come into place before making a decision. What would your message be to them, and what would your advice be?
Sure. I would say they should try to come into the training before new regulation, because it might be too late for them. Maybe there is a risk, there is a chance that new regulation will ban training for non-medic once it starts. But those who already have the qualification, they will have the chance to stay in the industry. So the best time is now to just enroll with aesthetic training before it's too late. And especially in BBM Academy, we recently joined with the university to provide postgraduate certificate like MSc and also PhD by research. So they are able to obtain PhD doctorate from BBM Online University, which is joined with other universities. And they can have the postgraduate qualification if they enroll with BBM Academy. And for licensing, for sure, they will have better chance and more chance to enroll now compared to the time that it's going to be released.
Amazing. I know a lot of industry experts are advising the same thing as well, right? So yeah, anybody listening to this who might be interested in getting involved, Dr. Roche, hit him up. The best trainer in London and one of the best in the UK, maybe the best in the UK. And if you want to follow Dr. Roche on Instagram, what's your Instagram tags, Dr. Roche?
Dr. Roche Official.
Amazing. Yeah. Cool. And everybody, thanks for tuning in, and look out for the next episode coming soon.